There are 7 testing principles that have been suggested over the past 40 years and offer general guidelines common for all testing. Principle 1. Testing shows presence of defects. Actually, testing cannot prove that there are no defects, but it can reduce the probability of undiscovered defects that are still in the software. Even if no defects are found, it is not a proof of correctness. Karl Popper, the writer on scientific methods of investigation, said that however many white swans we see, we cannot assert that all swans are white. However, as soon as we see one black swan, we can assert that not all swans are white. In the same way, however many tests we execute without finding a bug, we cannot assert that there are no bugs. But as soon as we find a bug, we can assert this code is not bug-free. Principle number 2. Exhaustive testing is impossible. It is not feasible, except for trivial cases, where we can ensure that all combinations of inputs and preconditions are met. Why is this? Because we have to consider time, people, tools, and environment. And instead of exhaustive testing, risk analysis and priorities should be used to focus testing efforts. Principle number 3. Early testing. Similar to the early bird principle that catches the worm. So, to find defects early, testing activities shall be started as early as possible in the software or system development lifecycle, and shall be focused on defined objectives. Principle number 4. Defect clustering. Defects tend to cluster together in complex or frequently changed code. Testing effort should be focused proportionally to the expected defect density of modules. A small number of modules usually contains most of the defects discovered during pre-release testing or is responsible for most of the operational failures. Principle number 5. Pesticide paradox. It is important to reuse test cases, but if the same tests are repeated over and over, eventually they will no longer find any new defects. To overcome this pesticide paradox, test cases need to be regularly reviewed and revised, and new and different tests need to be written to exercise different parts of the software or system. Principle number 6. Testing is context dependent. Testing is done differently in different contexts. We need to identify the type of context. So, for instance, if it is the industry, we need to ensure safety critical, pharmaceutical, nuclear, e-commerce, research, development. What is the software that is being developed? Is it an embedded system, an unembedded system? What kind of product are we speaking about? Is it business critical? So there are a lot of context-related issues that should be addressed. Principle number 7. Absence of errors fallacy. Finding and fixing defects does not help if the system built is unusable and does not fulfill the user's needs and expectations. Users must accept the software.